No more standing at the end of our driveways in the dark. We should not underestimate our freedoms this year, should we not?
You're right, Chris. It'll be a bit of a blended model, I think, around Australia this year. I know we traditionally associate Anzac Day with gathering in large numbers, but at its heart is a moment of personal reflection where we pause and we pay our respects to the fallen, to the families who love them, and also to respect those who serve today. But this year there will be the opportunity for larger gatherings than we had obviously last year, but there'll still be some people who are maybe vulnerable in terms of their own health that will have the vigil at dawn, and Light Up the Dawn will still be commemorated in many parts of the country. And we just encourage people to just take that time to reflect in a solemn and dignified way, and really, I guess, to be a bit thankful for all the magnificent freedoms we enjoy today, and recognise that those freedoms came at an enormous price. More than 102,000 Australians have lost their lives in the service of our nation. So it's the most important commemorative day of the year, and it's one where I encourage all Australians to pause and pay their respects.
Now, you're on the top end, but down at the other end in Melbourne today, the Shrine of Remembrance was fenced around. Now, after asking a few questions about this, because it looked rather odd on Anzac Day, a time when we're celebrating the hard-fought freedoms and democracy in this country, we've got the fencing of the Shrine of Remembrance. We're told that they're doing that because once they reach their cap of the number of people who can commemorate there, they can close the venue. It's just a bad look. It's a pity it had to be done.
Yeah, I think you're right. But I think the health authorities in the various jurisdictions are between a rock and a hard place, though, Chris. We've got to make sure that they are taking the health advice seriously, the independent health advice they receive. And if you, for example, if you had someone who had the COVID-19 virus and was walking through those crowds, and they couldn't then trace the crowd numbers back to through the contact tracing, we'd have an outbreak that would actually set us back as a nation. So I can understand why the health authorities have made that assessment in different locations. I'm just encouraging people, though, if they can get to a local service, if there might be a local dawn service in their suburb or regional town, or to do a driveway vigil if that's more appropriate for them. I can understand, though, people do want to gather in large numbers, but I think the caps have been put in place by the states in consultation with health authorities and the RSL in each state to try and get the right balance. I know in Perth now, because of the outbreak, we're just having a 3-day lockdown, which means the dawn service, quite spectacular dawn service at Kings Park in Perth won't be occurring this year. And that's a sad thing for those veterans and the serving men and women who would have been there. But in these circumstances, we just, I guess, have to be a little bit flexible and work our way through these challenges.
Yeah. In the Perth context, I don't think it was health advice he took. I think he took political advice. But anyway, I want to ask you about the Royal Commission. You're asking stakeholders to submit their ideas or their concepts for terms of reference. When does that close?
Well, this is a real opportunity, I think, Chris, to unite the veteran community. I've had the chance in the last 48 hours to be in Townsville and held several round tables there, and I've just come in from a meeting with Mates for Mates and RSL here in Darwin. And what I'm encouraging people to do is to have their say on the draft terms of reference. We've got about 4 weeks to do the consultation process, and then that information is fed into the independent process through the Attorney-General and the Prime Minister and Cabinet. So it won't be me who's framing up the terms of reference. My role as Veterans Minister is to use my contacts within the veteran community to make sure our stakeholders have a chance to have their say, to have their input. And then what we really need to do is make sure we shape these terms of reference so the Royal Commission has the best chance of achieving what our veteran community wants to achieve. My job is to work every day to try to unite the veteran community, not divide it. We need to keep working together to build on the successes we've had to make sure every veteran in Australia understands there is help available for them if they need it. There is help available through the Open Arms 1800 011 046 number. There's help available through RSLs and other organisations to support them if they get into a situation where they need that support. Yep. But it's so important that we try and unite and work together on this Royal Commission. I've
been to Darwin for the service, the dawn service, and also for the commemoration later in the day. You're in for a treat. That's all I'll say to you, Minister. You're in for a treat, and thank you very much for your time.